What is going on, guys? It is me, Shannon Steam. Now, I'm here for another story time. This time, I'm going to be talking about a time some witch girl tried to put a curse on me. And I know what you're thinking. Well, what do you mean try to put a curse on you? You're a Wiccan. Or you're a pagan or whatever. No, she's not the same pagan as me. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a description of this girl, at least for the time. She had dark hair, probably down to her jawline with the hair. It could be around that length, but man, this is so crazy. But okay, you know the movie The Craft? You know that one girl that's like got really short hair and she's just real mental? That's essentially the girl. And the makeup's there too. I mean, whatever you're picturing in your head, it's there. Like I said. Okay, so anyway, before I get started into the video, if you really like the video, please leave a like down below and subscribe if you're new. So without further ado, here it is. So now this story does take place back in middle school. Of course, at this time I had just broken away from the Catholic faith. And yes, I said it, broken away from the Catholic faith. Well, my mom's an Eastern Orthodox Christian, and she used to be a Muslim, but she left the faith after the 9/11 attacks, but that's for another story. So, I was starting to test the waters with witchcraft. You know, like, I would always go up into my room, like, burn incense, that kind of thing. And sometimes it would just really get me in trouble, but I really didn't care. I was just in that, oh, yeah, I'm better than the man, you know, that kind of thing. So, this particular day, I was just not having it. I was in a real bad mood. Me and my parents got into a real bad argument the morning before. Of course, when I got to school, everything started looking up. But there was this one kid. Now, this is the girl that I was talking about at the start of the video. She pretty much asked me, well, what coven are you part of? And, of course, I was like, what? What do you mean, what coven am I part of? And she was like, well, what coven are you from? There's like 6 other covens in this area. And I'm like, look, I'm not part of any coven. I have no intention of joining a coven. And she was like, oh, God, you're such a wuss. And of course I was like, oh, I'm the wuss. To me, a wuss is like someone who refuses to join a group, but they get pressured into doing it and it goes really bad. And essentially, you're the wuss that's trying to pressure me. So why don't you just go and ask someone else? And of course, she was like, oh, you're going to turn me down? Oh, man, you're going to make a big mistake. And of course, I was like, really? What are you going to do to hurt me? Because all I could see is just your necklace. And she was wearing this pointy necklace. It was like a shark's tooth or something. I don't know why she was wearing a shark's tooth, because that's not considered part of witchcraft or anything. But she pulls her necklace off and she said, I'm going to cut your throat with this. And I'm like, whoa, are you serious? You're going to cut me with that? It's a shark tooth. It's not sharp like a knife. And when I said that, I was just really ignorant because I've never been to an area where the sharks have been, nor have I seen what a shark necklace looks like. So, now, like I said, I've never seen this, but she ends up just slicing me right towards my face. Yeah, of course, she ended up missing, but the back of her hand just went smacked right into the side of my face. And, of course, everyone just went, oh my God. And then the girl just said, oh wow, now you fucked up. Now, of course, she didn't say that. She said, you really messed up this time. And, of course, I was like, what the fuck? Why would you strike me like that? Of course, she would later end up saying, because you made me. I'm like, oh my fuck. I made you. You think you're going to use that excuse on everyone else? Come on. At least try and act tough. Because the way I can see it, you're the one that just lost your mind, pulled off your shark tooth necklace, tried to use that as like a spike, and you tried to backslash me across the face. and in the end, you back-fisted me right in the face. Okay, that sounded kind of weird. But of course, the principal rounds the corner and just yells, "Hey, what's going on?" Now, I'm going to describe this principal. He had a bald head, had kind of a short beard, and believe me, he was not much of a looker. Now, Mr. Principal, if you're watching this, I'm not trying to be offensive towards you. I'm just getting that image in my head. So, back to the story. Of course, the principal asked me, "What just happened?" And I was like, "Oh, God, here I go." And of course, once I started having that go through my head, he goes, "Well, I'm waiting." And I just said, "Look, I think I might have said something that provoked this psychotic bitch girl right here." And he was like, "Well, what did you say?" And of course, I said, "Well, I said, you're just psycho and you tried to kill me." I didn't really say that, but that's close to what I said. But anyway, he later gets the girl's side of the story and just says, "Both of you come to the office." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." And so he brings us up to the office. And of course, he starts getting both the stories again, even though we just told him like 5 minutes before. And he, of course, goes to me first and says, "Well, you gotta try and learn to control your temper." Even though I did not have a temper on me at the time, he says, "You have to learn how to control your temper. You cannot take your anger out on someone else. If there's any word of this happening again, you're going to be suspended in school, that is, 5 days." And I'm like, "Ugh, all right, whatever." And then, of course, he said, "Well, first off, don't use that language with me. Just say yes, sir, or no, sir." And of course, I said, "Yes, sir." And then he said, "Okay, you may go." And of course, I didn't have any more problems after that, at least I thought. But, of course, the principal's office was right next to a pillar, and the front desk was all the way on the other side of a wall. So I had to... when he called her in, I pretended to round the corner, and then I doubled back. I put my ear right next to the door, and I heard him go to the girl, "Look, I'm going to call your parents. What you're doing is really dark, and we do not tolerate this in our school. So either you stop practicing this satanic witchcraft shit and go off and get some help, or else we're going to have to expel you." And of course, I was silently laughing because, well, first off, it was pretty funny at least. I got a laugh out of it. But in the end, I kind of took an L. Well, not really. I got kind of a win because I got this girl in trouble for once. So, yeah, this girl, she ended up getting suspended for like 6 days. And turns out the tooth that she had, it was not even a tooth. It was a piece of plastic. A piece of fucking plastic. A piece of plastic that resembled a shark tooth. Ugh, and I'm like, oh my god. How could she be so fucking stupid? Ugh. So, yeah, I didn't see her again after that. But of course, I still continued to practice witchcraft long until I broke away from the witchcraft stuff and became a pagan. Like right now. So, that's the end of the story. So, moral of the story is, do not bring a shark tooth to school or bring a sharp piece of plastic to school. Actually, better off, do not bring any sharp object into school, no matter what. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later. I'm gone.